So far. It's now my pleasure to introduce Gregg Small, the Executive Director of Climate Solutions. I've gotten to know Gregg fairly well over the past year as I've joined the board, and he has really impressed me with how he leads, with clarity, candor, and probably most importantly, with all necessary urgency. So I'm really glad that Gregg is at the helm during this pivotal time for climate solutions and for this really important global issue. Please welcome the Executive Director of Climate Solutions, Gregg Small.
Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good. I know it's hard to do the Monday morning thing, but and I was moving a little slow this morning, but now I'm around everybody, and I was just chatting with Amy, and now I'm sort of turbocharged. So we'll see if I can keep it down. Thank you so much for being here. This is our 8th annual breakfast. It's one of my favorite times every single year, and it's really so great and such an honor to be part of Climate Solutions and to be with you here this morning. I just want to talk for a little bit, and I want to start by saying that, I really feel like this is a deeply fascinating time for those of us who are working on climate change. It's what I call, we're in the time of what I call moving goalpost. So on the one hand, my goodness, the scientific news is terrifying, right? The scientific news is truly terrifying. Nearly every day there are new reports from scientists coming out talking about how much worse the projections are for climate change. And we're seeing the impacts every day: droughts, wildfires, global climate refugees, epic floods. There's very little doubt that the impacts are coming, and they're happening right now. And as a result of what we're learning from science, the goalposts for what is needed are shifting. So for so long, we were debating about trying to keep the temperatures to under 2 degrees, and in Paris in December, the battle was about keeping it to 1.5 degrees or less, and that may not even be good enough. So what we've learned is that we need to do more, and we need to do it more quickly. So the goalpost for the urgency of action is shifting, and it's not moving in the right direction for the planet and everybody and everything that lives in it. On the other hand, and this is the good part, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the good things, this is not an exaggeration. Literally every hour, a new report comes across my desk about the breathtaking speed at which solutions are happening. Every hour it's happening. Whether it's the rapid decline in the price of solar and wind, the continued success of energy efficiency, or the growth of electric cars, it's clear that we've reached a tipping point on the clean energy economy. It's here now, it's not going away, and really the only question is whether we can collectively accelerate solutions fast enough to stem the worst impacts of climate change. That's the question. The good news is coming. The question is whether we can accelerate it fast enough. So the goalposts for solutions are also moving, and that's a really good thing. And so it's within this context, right, of a world facing a crisis of unprecedented magnitude with climate change and an explosion of solutions on a fast track to scaling, that Climate Solutions thinks and acts. That's the context in which we think about these issues. Our mission is to accelerate practical and profitable solutions to climate change, and our theory of change is grounded in our belief that this corner of the world, the Northwest, can pioneer solutions that have an impact far beyond our borders. So we believe that we can create models, we can create policies that ripple far beyond our region, and we can accelerate the rate at which new ideas and new solutions are born and adopted. So this morning, the theme for our breakfast, and really the theme for our entire year, is also the same title as the title of our newest initiative, which is Bright Future. And at Climate Solutions, we think the future is incredibly bright. And the Northwest continues to be a shining light in the global effort to fight climate change and to build a vibrant and, importantly, equitable clean energy economy. And one of the brightest stories is in Oregon. I think, as many people here know, we, of course, do work here in Washington, but we are a Northwest organization. We do a ton of work in Oregon as well. And just a few short months ago, I hear some cheers for Oregon. All right, Oregon. So I think some of you know about this, but just a few short months ago, on a campaign that Climate Solutions helped to lead, the legislature passed a cutting-edge bill that established Oregon as the first state in the nation to legislate an end to generating electricity through coal and a commitment to doubling its renewable energy portfolio by 50%. This was a big deal and reverberating far beyond our borders. Kristen Sharon, Kristen, where are you? Kristen, our Oregon director, was one of the leaders of that campaign. So, big deal. We care a lot about policies, but we also feel like what the Northwest can do can do more than just create the cutting-edge policies. And what we're focused on is also helping to build a changing, growing, diverse, and powerful movement. A lot of you people have been involved in the fossil fuel effort, and in our region, community members continue their unprecedented outpouring of opposition to the building of fossil fuel infrastructure that locks in our dependence to climate-causing pollution. 280,000 people, a record-setting 280,000 people, put in public comments in opposition to the proposed oil transport terminal in Vancouver, Washington. 280,000 people, incredible turnout on that. And of course, hundreds of thousands of people have voiced their opposition to the siting of coal export proposals. So the calls for ending our dependence on fossil fuels are getting louder and louder and louder. But it's not just those issues that are happening. In the past year, so many have increased their engagement on climate change. Labor, communities of color, public health experts, grassroots activists, faith leaders, and so many more. It's incredible who's coming out, and I want to particularly call out right now the business community. Acknowledge their contributions to making a change on climate change. Our region is full of companies that are on the front line developing innovative solutions and are really at the heart of putting solutions on the ground here in our region. From Proterra, which is developing electric buses that are put onto the roads in King County, to Virginia Mason, and we'll hear more from Virginia Mason soon, which is a leader in talking about how we need to solve the climate crisis in order to address some of our really pressing public health issues. It's clear that the business community more and more is stepping up to the plate to help to solve this problem. One of the people who's done as much as anybody to work on this issue is our own Ross Macfarlane. After 10 years with us, Ross is retiring at the end of the month. Ross has spent as much time as anybody here in this region trying to bridge and get engaged with the business community, working on solutions for climate and clean energy. I've had just an incredible experience working with Ross over the past 10 years, and I think many of you here in this room have as well. So Ross, where are you, my friend? Please stand and join me in welcoming Ross. A force of nature, Ross is, and we will still be seeing much of him. So let me just close by talking about Climate Solutions goals moving forward. In the coming year, Climate Solutions will continue to do what we've been doing for nearly 2 decades, leading successful initiatives to deliver climate and clean energy policies, models, and partnerships that accelerate the transitions from fossil fuels to an equitable clean energy economy. 3 things that we're most particularly focused on in the coming year. Number 1, passing and implementing cutting-edge policies in Washington and Oregon, central to what we've done for many years and what we'll continue to do. Number 2, defeating all proposals to build infrastructure that locks in our dependence on fossil fuels. We're going to beat every single one of those proposals. And last but not least, launching our newest initiative, Bright Future, which demonstrates that the rapid transition to clean energy and a low-carbon economy is achievable, inevitable, and desirable. I just want to close by thanking all of you. I just can't tell you how deeply grateful I am and everybody at Climate Solution is for what you do to support climate solutions and for what you do to help us to solve the climate crisis. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it.